welcome. I am the one and only MSJ, Max for short, and welcome to my YouTube page. Today is October 21st, 2022. You know what that means? It is day 21 of the 31 Days of Fright horror movie project, year 11. And today's movie is Return of the Living Dead. I'm not quite sure if I'd done this movie or not because when I consulted my book where I have a list of all the movies that I've done over the years, I couldn't find the movie, and I can't find my original copy of the movie because I just purchased this just a couple days ago, and I'm just like, so I'm just like, you know what, I'm starting fresh, I'm just going to do it anyways. And this movie's awesome, regardless if I've done it or not. You can always warrant a retalk, or revisit regardless. So, before I really dive deep into this, I want to ask you to do a few things by clicking subscribe, hit the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, and share. Helps you to stay notified when my videos go live. Helps me get my channel videos out there to a much broader audience. And when you leave a comment down below, helps us stay connected when the video goes up, because I want to hear what you have to say about this movie, or anything about what I may say in this video about this movie. So, yeah. And then there's tons of other people that I want to give a quick shout out to. We got the 13th Wolfman, I Am the Ice Lord, Popping the Popcorn. Who else we got? Terrence Maguana. You got Moods 616. Tony Has 9 Fingers. Who else is doing it this year? There's tons of us, and some of those names are also people who are just spreading the spooky season. Jennifer Toshi, she's doing it as well. Nanette over at the Entertainment Hideout. Just there, a bunch of those names are doing the 31 days, and also a bunch of those names are just spreading the spooky, like I mentioned, with just having live streams and just bring us this little horror community together at night and throughout the day. Just having a lot of fun, just talking about horror movies, and even having watch-alongs and everything. So just go show them some love, and they all deserve it, because they're all awesome people. So they really are. All right, now back to the movie for today. Like I mentioned, I'm not quite sure if I've done this. I even went back and just kind of did a quick skim. Even searched my own name. Just maybe it'll pop up. No. So maybe I haven't done this. And I thought I have always thought about doing it. So that's kind of funny. But anyways, if you've not seen this movie, this is like a top tier zombie movie. When you always compile a zombie list, this is always on at least the top 5 for sure, depending on the person, but it's always top 5 for sure. It's fun, it's different, it's a good take on the zombie genre. Just what you need to know real quick, if you've never seen this movie, is about these two guys, one older gentleman and one younger guy. They working in this medical supply shop warehouse. And he's kind of just giving them the rundown, like, oh, this is how to ship off like medical supplies and everything. And he's talking about Night of the Living Dead, how that was an actual event, and then the movie itself was just kind of like like a dumbed down version of what actually happened. And then he's like, we actually got like a shipment of one of the actual zombies by accident. It's sent in the basement, and it's like, do you want to see it? So they go down to the basement, and it's like they show him that's where the tar man comes out eventually, and he looks at him, and it's like this really cool petrified person in there. And then it's like, should we actually call the number? No, like, we don't want the military coming down on us or whatever. And he's like, is it okay to like touch it? And he's like, he slaps the can. And then right when he does that, some of the trioxin, I think that's what it's called, leaks out and causes him to like pass out, and there's this really cool effect where the zombie's face kind of melts, or the dude's face melts, and that's when I think that's when the title sequence actually starts, and it's party time, you know. And I was catching up on The Walking Dead, and it's me, Negan. I think that's it's Negan. The final episode of season 10, which that was a fantastic episode, by the way. The Negan's wife, when she found out some bad news from the doctor, the song from this movie that gets played quite a bit is on the radio, and I'm like, oh, I love that. It's so cool. And then you have another bunch of characters who are waiting for their friend to get off work, because they're like, you got a job, you know. And I think they use some words that wouldn't fly today at all. And so they go, it's like, let's go hang out in the cemetery. And while they're hanging out in the cemetery, waiting for their friend to come get off work, those two guys wake up, and they realize, like, oh no, we're screwed. And then the trioxin has awakened, like, an actual cadaver in the medical warehouse. And so they have to deal with that. And they're like, what do we do with the body? So they take it over to their friends over by the someone they know over by the cemetery, crematorium. Let's just burn the body. And then that's where all, like, chaos ensues, you know. The ashes and the smoke gets into the air, starts raining, drips into the cemetery, and then all the zombies start to rise. But they're just not your average zombies, you know. They're smart. There's this one particular scene where, like, just so much chaos has already been happening, where they trick the police into coming to the cemetery. He's like, send more cops. And then, like, they get out, and all of a sudden, like, they look out, and all of a sudden the zombies just, like, converge on this line of cops. And it's just, yeah, it's a really cool scene. And this movie is also kind of infamous for Linnea Quigley's naked dance on the one of the tombstones. That's an interesting scene of its own, and the story behind that, which I'm really hoping to hear more about, because my copy doesn't have a lot of this cool special features. It has, like, a lot of the commentary with Linnea Quigley, and also, like, it has the work print version of this movie. I'm very excited to see that. I wish I had a chance to actually sit down and kind of see what this movie looks like in 4K. I will after I film, but sadly it won't be able to. I may kind of let you guys know in the next video, tomorrow's video, how it looks in 4K. Maybe a follow up a little bit, but yeah, this movie has. I mean, there's like 3 commentaries on this movie alone, so that's right up my alley on that. The special effects, the kills, are all the acting, the humor. This movie is just so good. And it's just, you'll recognize a little bit of everybody in this movie. The music is good. Just, like, it's party time. Like, that's just, like, every time I hear it, I will immediately think of this movie, no matter what. And, like, them just, especially the when it pops up, like, randomly, you know, it's like, it's just so good. What else is there to say about this movie that hasn't already been said? Which I will come back tomorrow, and I'll actually say something that has not been said and what it looks like in 4K. And that's all I have to say. It's just, I wasn't quite sure if I had done this movie yet, and I can't find my original copy like I mentioned. So I'm just like, I'll just revisit it regardless. I never miss a chance to talk about this movie, so it's perfect. So And that is all I have to say about this. I'm going to do my rating scale. You already know what I'm going to say, but I'm just going to run it down real quick. Yeah, 1, it's run-of-the-mill horror. It's a 2, best watch with the group. 3, it's more than average horror, but adds nothing new to the horror genre. 4, helps move the horror genre forward. And 5, being a horror classic. When you think of horror comedies, especially when it's the horror comedy genre of zombie movies, this is top 1, no matter what. But when it just comes to the zombie genre, it's probably top 5 for sure, like I mentioned. But this is top tier, like truly top tier horror classic in the zombie genre. So that's all I have to say. It just, like, this movie is just so good. I love the special effects. The gore in this movie is done really well, and it's not overly cheesy. It's not overly campy. This movie has just a super nice balance throughout the entire movie of humor, scares. You're invested with everybody. Like, it's fun. And like, there's this one scene in the movie where, like, the girlfriend of the guy who's working at the warehouse, I'm forgetting their character names, I'm so sorry. She's running up the steps from the basement to the next floor in the medical warehouse, and they didn't tell her that they kind of falsified one of the steps, so when she would run up them, it would, like, give way. And so, like, knowing that, I just learned about that recently, actually. And so I'm excited to kind of watch her reaction when she finally falls or trips or whatever, and to kind of see, like, her facial reaction. Just like, oh man, like, not knowing that is, like, really cool. But also, like, that's kind of like, how dare you, you know? But it works in the movie as long as everyone's safe, you know, I'm sure. But I'm actually, hopefully she does maybe she's one of the people who does a commentary for this. So yeah, that's it. I'm gone on too long. If you don't own a copy, get yourself a copy. Digital DVD. This is my second time buying this. It comes with a Blu-ray as well. Has even more special features on that. I mean, like, special features are like spread out through the 3 discs, because the 3rd disc is the work print of the movie. So I'm excited to see that, like I mentioned. Maybe come back to a later date and talk about just that itself. So that is all. I am the one and only MSJ, Max for short. Stay spooky, and all I can say to end these videos is thank you.